brush your teeth every time you drink kombucha. But we should make a movie about it, the blob.
At least make a poem.
A poem?
Yeah.
I'll make a poem.
Okay.
I love that.
Let's start with a poem.
Let's start with a poem and see how it goes. So you're saying like, whoa, slow down.
Yeah.
So I had a story for you guys, and I gotta think of what it was. I know what it was. I got to go today to, the kids are in grade 4, and I got to go to the talent show
Okay.
at Thornhill Elementary, and it was like so beautiful. I had to prevent myself from like, not even at my own kids, like every child that got up, I was like, oh, you brave soul. And there were a few things that came up when I was watching the kids. One is a friend of mine's daughter, who's 14, got into kind of a discussion with her grandmother about, because her grandmother was saying, you're so talented, you're such a talented writer. And she was saying, like, this isn't talent, this is hard work. Like, I've been working at this for a long time and perfecting it and getting better at it. And it came up in my mind while I was watching these kids, like, it's not, a lot of them didn't have a natural talent. They didn't get up, and I mean, the kids that were really good, I think they probably practiced whatever it was a lot. There was a kid on a unicycle, some kid broke a block, another kid did a Rubik's Cube that someone else from the crowd like jumbled around in like 30 seconds. My daughter got up and sang with her friends, which she practiced and practiced and practiced. There were other kids that got up and danced. And some of them, you could tell they'd probably been in dance and gymnastics forever. And then other kids, it was like and I know for a fact some of these kids are super shy, right? So for them to get up in front of everybody was just amazing. Like the energy in there was palpable. The pride from the parents. When I looked around, you could tell whose kid it was because they were like, just, yeah. Anyway, the Sanskrit word, or the Buddhist word for this feeling of watching someone else and being happy for their joy, celebrating someone else's joy, is mudita. It's one of my favorite words. It is something I have to consistently practice because we live in a culture and a society that encourages jealousy and competition. And that if someone else is doing something really well, it means somehow that you can't, or that you won't, or that they have something you don't, talent. So I was blown away the whole time. I felt so incredibly honored to just be there and like witness all these children getting up and taking a massive risk. And that's what they said at the end. 2 teachers got up and did this evolution of dance together, and then they were like, everybody here took a risk. They did. And they all clapped for each other like so profoundly, and I thought like, this is it. Mm-hmm. Like, this is it. This is what I want. This is what I want to be a part of. So in yoga, every time you step on your mat, every time you come to the studio, every time you come to a class, you're taking a risk because you've chosen to work at something that's hard, and you've chosen it over eating a bag of chips on the couch, which is what I probably would have done if I hadn't come here. I love chips too. So I want to first of all say that I have incredible respect for you guys coming and being here. And the second thing is that I have so much mudita watching my friends and my students come to class, because I get to see your faces when you leave. And I get to see like that yoga glow that you have on your faces after you've practiced. So remember that feeling when it's hard to take a risk, when it's hard to come to class, when that posture seems like it's never going to happen. That's all I have to say today. So come to a comfortable seated position. And just take a moment. I always like to just kind of wiggle and move about before I find stillness. Sometimes it's like squeeze and release. Maybe just notice how you're feeling in your body first, and then whenever you're ready, you can close your eyes or gently set your gaze on the floor in front of you. Whatever feels comfortable. Just soften your eyes, soften your face.